I read a tweet today which said that we as a world value breaking news more than quality news. It's just one statement, but it says a lot about how we interact and perceive the world around us. Clickbait titles, attention catching titles, that breaking news, this is what happened, this is what happened. So many different kinds of things that surround us. And in this big ocean of information that is there in our world today, those are the kinds of things that pop out. And our natural response to them is to react. We are like, okay, that sounds interesting. Let me just click on it. We click on it, we read that, and we are done with it. We don't think a lot. We don't understand what is going on around the world, around us, and we just take in information, we just soak in information without thinking. And that reflects in our decision making as well. We take decisions without thinking. We don't plan properly, we don't reflect properly, and we are like, okay, this is what I know, I'll just take action on that. We assume things and we don't get to know the complete story, the complete situation before we take a stand, or before we jump in with our opinion, or before we come to a conclusion. And that is the problem. That is basically the reason why so many people fight. They have differences in opinions, but if they would just sit down, talk them out, and discuss them properly, those kind of fights won't exist. People who are in relationships often suffer from these kind of things where they fight with their partners. Why? Because they assumed something would be true, but they don't take action on that. They don't actually find what is the truth, and they just take action on those assumptions, which leads to wrong and bad problems. That is not what we want to do. We instead need to respond and take actions based on what the truth actually is. Let me tell you an interesting story I came across that is in our Panchantantras. So, a farmer saw, while he was walking from his field to his house, saw a mongoose lying on the side of the road that was injured. He thought, let me just take this mongoose to my house and we'll take care of him, we'll keep him as a pet. So he brought the mongoose to the house, they treated him and all of that, and he told his wife, let's just keep him as our pet, he is nice. But the wife did not agree. The wife thought, what if the mongoose kills our newborn baby? She had that fear in her, because mongooses are known for killing different kinds of animals as well. They even hunt poisonous snakes. So that was a valid concern that the mother had. But the father shrugged off all of that, the farmer shrugged off all that and said, no, we'll train this mongoose properly and he won't really go very near to our child, so it will be fine. A few months went by, the mongoose lived with them and he recovered very quickly, and the child was also growing. Both the mongoose and the child started growing together and there was no danger. Until one day, the mother had to go to the village market to buy some vegetables and told the father, just take care of the child, don't let the mongoose near him. And he's like, okay, I won't let the mongoose near him. And then the wife went, but then the husband got called by the landlord and he was asking for payment for the farmland. And the father was like, okay, I've just got money from my harvest, so let me just go and pay him. So the farmer went and he left both the mongoose and the child alone. He went, he spent time there with the landlord, giving the money, transacting and all of that stuff, and the mother came back before him. At that time, the mongoose was standing outside at the door. His face was covered in blood, his hands were covered in blood, and the mother realized something was wrong. She was terrified. She came to know that the worst has happened and that her child is gone. She was so angry that the heavy basket she had full of vegetables and all of those things, she just threw that at the mongoose and went running inside, tears shedding from her eyes, and she couldn't believe what had just happened. But as soon as she stepped inside the house, she saw that the baby was still sleeping in the cradle peacefully. Not a single scratch was on the baby and she was shocked. Then she looked down and she was a little scared at first, but then she realized what had actually happened. A poisonous large cobra was in their house, and the mongoose had killed that cobra instead. To save the child, the mongoose had killed that cobra and not the child. And the mother's assumption was wrong. She felt so bad for her action that she ran out and picked up the basket, but it was too late, and the mongoose was gone. What does this story teach us? It gives us one simple lesson. We should not act until and unless we know the whole story. In today's world, so many people share their lives on social media and they get many hate comments as well. Some people say, oh, you are like this, you are like that. But those hate comments have no base because the people who are creating those comments don't know the whole story behind those other people's lives. This happens a lot. We just react instead of responding and understanding everything properly, and that creates a lot of confusion, assumptions, problems, and contradictions in the world. If we just let go of this trait, almost 60 to 70% of our conflicts would be solved because most of them actually have no base to them. So keep this story in mind. Keep this thought in mind that you have to act after you know the complete story, and don't just jump to conclusions quickly. Develop the habit of listening to other people, and as you listen to other people, understand them intently, you will develop this habit of responding instead of reacting. What is your main takeaway from this? What have you learned from the mongoose story? Tell me in the comments below, because I am really interested to know what your answer is. And remember, respond, don't react. So think carefully about what you want to write and put it down there. We don't want to create a world where everybody is just reacting and just not really thinking about something and just typing it out or sending it off. We need to create a world that is more logical, that thinks sensibly, and people who take action more responsibly. And that is what we have to do in the comment section starting now. Also, do like this video because it helps me grow more and more and share this message and this value with as many people as possible. And do hit the subscribe button and the bell icon, because I am committed to offer value to you, and I'll continue doing that. And when you do that, when you add my channel and when you subscribe to my channel, it motivates me to continue and giving more value. So please do that, and also share this video with as many people as possible so that our community grows and we learn more and more together with each other. Thank you very much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next video.